Hi, my name is Meril, and this is my We Belong in College story. So, the biggest secret of my life is that I am not a girl. I am a non-binary femme, and my pronouns are they, them. For me, this was really troubled because I had gone out of the closet during freshman year, but I had gotten misgendered to the point of where I went back into the closet. And so back then I just went by the pronouns she, her after freshman year to the summer before senior year. And this all came back to me during the college process where I was repeatedly told to be myself, but I had to write about myself with the pronouns she, her instead of they, them. And I felt like it was just so much easier to be a girl, to check that girl box, this identity that society has assigned to me. It was just something that I clung on to because I was so scared of going back to freshman year of high school where I felt really awkward for sticking up for my pronouns. But even then, deep down, it just did not feel right. Like, I wanted colleges to know the real me. I did not want to have to go through 4 years of being misgendered. I wanted to start my transition into adulthood, of living away from my transphobic home, being true to myself. And so this made me have, for each thing that I applied for college, like this made me have like a meltdown, like an emotionally breakdown, and like I antagonized over the gender button for hours. And this was like for fly-in programs, virtual open houses, even my own essay. And it got to the point where I just could not submit anything for a couple of weeks. And as a rising senior, it significantly curtailed my college application schedule. It really just felt better not to apply or think about college during that time, to just eliminate it from my life plans. But instead, I made another plan. What I did was that I kept a journal and I kept writing in the words, "I am not a girl," every single day. And I wrote about my thoughts and feelings about how writing about my gender made me feel. And writing about my intimate feelings for myself, like that wasn't something that I never did before. I'm a very talkative person and I tend to verbalize everything to my community. In fact, within my activist work, I am a public speaker, but I never realized that it would be so hard to, after I finished, or after I felt like I was kind of done with the journaling, I felt like it was so hard to move on to the next step, which was verbalizing and saying the words, "I am not a girl," for my plan for self-acceptance. And my heart would end up racing, and I felt like this tiny voice in my head telling me that I should not do this. But I picked up a pen and I kept writing, and I practiced meditation to keep my anxiety at bay. And this was all where I was feeling really conflicted. Like some days I was angry at myself for not making more progress. Other days I was angry at myself for even trying to accept myself and trying to accept my gender identity. But after a month of journaling and then verbalizing and then journaling again, I finally had the courage to come out and tick that non-binary box. And the journal in which I wrote all my feelings down, I still have that right in my room. And when my insecurities come back in the midst of applying to things where I have to tick the gender box, I reread my journal, and after reading my journal, I remember the long journey it took to even tell myself that I was non-binary. But despite all odds, I felt like I got through it, and what I do to kind of express that joy is to grab post-its and I write affirmations on the pages where I had expressed insecurities about my gender. It's a form of cheering on my past self to remember how far I have come. And sometimes the affirmations are in the form of drawing, other times they're in the form of a word that I think I embodied, like courageous. And every time I leaf through the book, I feel this sense of pride, and it's a visible sense of my progress, my self-acceptance. And I have learned that I belong in college no matter my gender identity.